The liberation of Auschwitz on January 27, 1945, by the Red Army unveiled a scene of unimaginable horror. Amidst the skeletal survivors and the remnants of industrial-scale extermination, the name of Dr. Horst Schumann emerged as a symbol of Nazi medical depravity. His story is a chilling descent into sadism and a disturbing account of how a physician could become an instrument of genocide. Horst Schumann's early life offered little indication of the monstrous path he would later tread. Born in 1906, he experienced a fractured childhood marked by his parents' divorce and the instability of his father's subsequent marriages. Despite these challenges, he followed his father's profession, pursuing a career in medicine. However, Schumann's ambition was soon intertwined with a dangerous ideology. In 1930, while a university student, Schumann joined the Nazi Party, drawn to its promises of national renewal and order. By 1932, he had become a member of the SA, the infamous stormtroopers, further solidifying his commitment to the Nazi cause. The rise of Adolf Hitler to power in 1933 marked a turning point in Schumann's life. He obtained his medical license and began his career, but his allegiance to the Nazi regime would soon overshadow his Hippocratic oath. Schumann's early career involved working at the Public Health Office in Halle. However, the outbreak of World War II in 1939 propelled him into the heart of the Nazi killing machine. Recruited into the Luftwaffe as a physician, he soon encountered Victor Brack, a key figure in the Führer Chancellery. This meeting led to Schumann's involvement in the T4 euthanasia program, a horrifying initiative aimed at the systematic murder of institutionalized patients with disabilities. Schumann's first assignment was to establish a killing center at Grafeneck Castle. Here, he oversaw the gassing of over 1,200 patients using carbon monoxide. The process was chillingly methodical. Patients were examined, sedated, and then herded into gas chambers. Schumann and other doctors operated the machinery, releasing the deadly gas and callously observing the victims' final moments. The desensitization of these medical professionals is a disturbing testament to the power of Nazi ideology. Schumann's involvement in the T4 program continued at the Sonnenstein Killing Center, where nearly 14,000 patients and over 1,000 concentration camp prisoners were murdered under his supervision. He underwent specialized psychiatric training to better identify and select victims for elimination. This training further blurred the lines between healing and killing, transforming Schumann into a cold and efficient executioner. As the T4 program officially ended, Schumann's expertise was repurposed for another horrific task: the selection of concentration camp prisoners deemed unfit for work. As part of Operation 14F-13, Schumann and other doctors visited camps, identifying the sick and disabled for gassing. Camp commandants prepared lists of deadweight prisoners, and some victims were even tricked into volunteering for recovery camps, unaware of their impending doom. The belongings of the gas victims were then sent back to the camp, revealing the cruel deception to the remaining prisoners. In late July 1941, Schumann arrived at Auschwitz, the epicenter of Nazi genocide. He selected 575 prisoners for gassing at Sonnenstein, a grim prelude to his later, even more horrific experiments. In the autumn of 1942, Schumann received orders from Hitler's chancellery to begin sterilization experiments on Auschwitz prisoners using X-rays. The goal was to find an efficient method to prevent reproduction among those deemed genetically or racially inferior. Schumann's experiments were conducted in Block 10 of the main Auschwitz camp. He subjected prisoners, both men and women, to high doses of radiation, causing severe burns, infections, and agonizing pain. To confirm the effectiveness of the sterilization, he ordered the surgical removal of irradiated ovaries and testicles, procedures carried out by prisoner doctors without anesthesia. The testimony of survivors like Chaim Belitsky paints a harrowing picture of these experiments: the excruciating pain, the dehumanization, and the lasting physical and psychological trauma. While Schumann's X-ray sterilization experiments proved ineffective for large-scale use, his notes reveal a chillingly pragmatic calculation. He estimated that with sufficient resources, thousands of people could be sterilized per day. This detached, industrial approach to mass sterilization underscores the depths of Schumann's moral depravity. Beyond sterilization, Schumann also conducted typhus experiments at Auschwitz, injecting prisoners with infected blood. He later transferred to Ravensbrück, where he continued his horrific experiments, sterilizing and castrating Romani children and performing other brutal procedures. His actions were not those of a doctor seeking to heal, but a sadistic scientist driven by Nazi ideology. As the Nazi regime crumbled, Schumann attempted to evade justice. Captured by American forces in 1945, he was initially released due to a failure to connect him to his wartime crimes. He lived under a false name, working as a sports physician and opening a private practice. However, his past eventually caught up with him. In 1951, a routine police check revealed his true identity, but Schumann managed to flee the country. He spent years on the run, working as a ship doctor and finding refuge in Egypt, Sudan, and Ghana. In Ghana, he even established a jungle hospital, a grotesque irony considering his past. However, his protector, Ghanaian President Kwame Nkrumah, was overthrown in 1966, leading to Schumann's arrest and extradition to West Germany. In 1970, Horst Schumann finally faced trial for his crimes. The evidence against him was overwhelming. For volumes of documentation weighing 2 tons and testimony from 115 survivors, he was charged with the murder of 30,000 Jews, a number he himself admitted could be as high as 80,000. During the trial, Schumann's former assistant described him as the devil himself, a man who showed no mercy to his victims. However, Schumann attempted to evade justice once again, feigning illness and self-harm to delay the proceedings. The court eventually suspended the trial due to his claimed health problems, and he was released from prison. In a final, bitter twist of fate, Horst Schumann never faced true justice for his horrific crimes. He died in 1983. A free man, a chilling reminder of the failures of justice in the aftermath of the Holocaust. His story serves as a stark warning about the dangers of ideology, the corruption of medicine, and the enduring need to hold perpetrators of genocide accountable.